Hello, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Douglas Johnson. I am a yoga teacher at the advanced 500-hour level. I am an ordained minister, a kirtan artist and musician, amongst other things. And today I wanted to talk about appreciating pain. Before I get into that though, I do want to thank the community, and it is a community effort, these videos, that makes these talks possible, and that are my patrons over on Patreon. So if you'd like to join that community, please check out the links below. You can also tip me on PayPal or Venmo one time, and you can help out by buying merch, links at the beginning and end of the video, and by giving me a thumbs up, liking, subscribing, and sharing on YouTube. Today, I'm going to try something a little different. So this video obviously is available without any kind of paywall, but I did actually write out an essay on this subject. So if you'd like a little deeper dive, you'd like to get into a little more detail, if you enjoy just reading instead of listening to a video, or both, you can check it out on the Patreon page. So today I wanted to talk about pain and our attitudes toward pain. The title of this talk is Appreciating Your Pain. Why should we appreciate pain? Isn't pain something we simply want to get rid of or to avoid? Well, I would argue that this is actually the worst attitude or approach to pain, and it yields the least beneficial result. I'd like to argue that if we take the time to understand pain and to appreciate it for what it's doing for us, then we will actually be rid of the pain more effectively and perhaps more quickly. So to do this, we need to understand what is pain. Pain for me is a signal. It's something to get our attention. So it's a lot like the dashboard, a light on your dashboard in your car. This light is telling you, hey, there's something that you need to pay attention to, you need to investigate, you need to look at, you need to fix. So if we approach pain as something that we just need to get rid of, rather than a signal, then we might take painkillers and be done with it. And we're not going to investigate or ask questions about what is really going on. Why am I feeling pain? What is the pain trying to show me? So according to Tom Myers, who is a gentleman that I respect, he wrote the book Anatomy Trains. He says there are three kinds of pain. Pain coming into the body, pain in the body, and then pain leaving the body. Now, depending on which one of these we're dealing with, our approach will be different. So pain coming into the body is to be avoided. This is like stubbing your toe or being in an abusive relationship, something like this. We're not going to feel good in these situations, and you could say that that is our body telling us, hey, this is not good for us. We need to get out of this situation. The second kind of pain is pain in your body. And Tom correctly points out that you're not going to feel this pain most of the time. It's sort of hidden, but it will affect your body and possibly your emotions and your actions. So it tends to distort all of these things. So we kind of contort ourselves to not feel the pain. Again, whether that's physically or emotionally or socially, whatever it might be. So we contort ourselves to avoid the pain, feeling the pain, but it is affecting us. So just because we're not experiencing it as pain, it's still having an effect. And then when we do something like a yoga class or we go to therapy, this might reveal that pain that was hidden there inside our body. So we actually become aware of it and feel it. And this brings us to the third kind of pain, which is pain leaving the body. So pain leaving the body needs to be experienced, it needs to be felt in order for the pain to actually leave us. So emotional pain, we will need to sit down with it and be willing to experience it and to feel it. Physical pain, it actually helps guide us to how to heal. It alerts us to the damage, it directs our attention, and it gives us valuable feedback about what is and isn't working. The tantric perspective about emotional and psychological pain, if you will, is that we create emotional trauma through resisting a painful experience. And it's the resistance that kind of freezes the energy of that experience in our bodies. And it becomes trapped in there, if you will. Now again, through yoga or meditation or therapy, I can perhaps bring this back into my awareness. But if I don't understand what I'm doing with it, then it will simply get buried again, or I'll just sort of throw it out, if you will. I'll yell at somebody or go for a run or drink some beer and try and again repress and get rid of the pain. So what we want to do from the tantric perspective, and Tom hits on this correctly when he says it needs to be felt, is we want to allow ourselves to feel it, to reintegrate it. And this can be very counterintuitive for many people, because again, many people, when they feel pain, they simply want to get away from it. But this will not rid you of the pain ultimately. Again, it will live on in your body and it will distort your body, it will distort your thoughts, your emotions, your perspective on everything. So the tantric perspective is to face it, to feel it. And again, this can take practice. This could be done in meditation, but it can also be done just laying down or getting comfortable in a chair and allowing yourself to bring up maybe a memory, or maybe the emotion is already there, and just really welcoming it and letting go of the subtle or not so subtle resistance that might be there. And like anything with practice, you get better and better at it. And what happens over time is that energy is reintegrated back into the whole. You can think of these emotions almost like an ice cube. So if you have a bowl with water in it, and then there are ice cubes floating in it, those emotions are separate, right, from the rest of the water. It's not going to flow and mix with the rest of the water. It's formed a solid, separate kind of self. And this is what these emotions are like. If we allow ourselves to, in essence, melt them with our awareness, then we can reintegrate this energy back into ourselves. So again, to review, pain entering the body should be avoided. Now you do need to be careful here, because some situations that might make you feel very painful, might be very painful situations. These may not be situations where pain is entering the body. So as an example, let's say you are in a relationship and you get triggered about something that is from another relationship. And again, you may not be consciously aware of this, but let's say your partner says something and it triggers this old pain, this old emotion, it brings it up. You may incorrectly determine that, oh, this relationship is unhealthy for me because of how I feel, that this is pain entering my body. But it may not actually be that. It might actually be, again, pain that's already there that is being woken up and brought into your awareness in the present moment by the situation you're in. So you do need to be careful. But if you determine that indeed the relationship that you're in or the situation that you're in is actually abusive or traumatic or damaging in some way, then you just simply need to remove yourself from that situation. In the other instance though, where it's not actually that situation, where it's pain that has been trapped inside of your body that's coming to awareness, then the way to deal with it is different. So the way to deal with the second kind of pain, which is again pain that's there trapped in our body, if it's emotional pain, is again to face it, to feel it, to welcome it. So this would be establishing yourself from a yogic perspective as the witness, so not judging, not resisting, just allowing. And again, over time with practice, the emotions will reintegrate. If it's physical pain, or if its origin is physical, see, there are two origins for the pain, which can be physical, can be emotional. So if it's physical pain in our body, then that means there's damage there. And what pain can do is, again, it can help guide us. It can help show us, A, where the pain is, where the damage is, and then it gives us feedback about what's working. Now, again, as Tom pointed out earlier, or as I mentioned earlier, we must be willing to feel pain in order to get rid of this pain, because again, the pain ultimately is guiding us. So doing yoga, doing body work very often can be painful, but as we face the pain, as we keep moving and working, we eventually release that pain and we have a more expanded sense of freedom and movement and self. So I hope that today's talk was helpful. Again, if you would like a little more systematic breakdown of my thoughts on this subject, I did write an essay. It's over there on Patreon, and this is going to be for paid members only. But the good news is you can join that community for as little as $1 per month. All your help is greatly appreciated. As a yoga teacher, I don't have a large income, and in order to make this sort of content available does require support, so I appreciate your support. All right, everyone, till next time, I hope that this was helpful and has given you perhaps a little bit of a different thought about how to approach pain and your attitude toward it. I really believe that if you have the right attitude, if you understand that pain is just trying to show you and guide you rather than something that you need to push away, this can really improve, ultimately, your ability to get rid of pain. You could say that pain's gonna stick around as long as it has a job to do, as long as it needs to bring your attention to something. Once you've brought your attention to that thing, once you've dealt with the dysfunction or the problem that the pain is trying to show you, the pain will go away. All right, everyone, until next time, namaste and have a beautiful day.